Is it okay or acceptable for white women to get box braids? What's a decision that at the time you and Solo thought was great or perfect for your family, but as you went on, you realized it was a negative instead of a positive?
Oh my goodness, that's a loaded question.
Okay, I have a question. When I was younger, I was sexually abused by an adoptive father who was a well-known pastor in the area. Wow. Regardless of my attempts to get others to listen, I was turned away time and time again because of his quote-unquote status. Oh, that's horrible.
That is sick.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. My name is Sarah.
And I'm Solo.
And we're doing an Ask Sarah
and Solo
segment. So you're gonna answer questions?
Yes.
Our goal is just for her to not interrupt us too much. She also has wild morning hair, so please excuse the wild morning hair. Today, or on Tuesdays, guys, you send in your Ask Sarah questions. And I'm still working on questions from May, so sorry about that, but you guys send a lot, which is awesome. So if you want to send a question, you have some patience. It's Ask Sarah at ourtribeofmany.com. And like I said, every Tuesday, answer your questions. So if you really want to earn the gold star, you can record yourself on your phone, turn it sideways like this, record and send me your question, and I'll be really happy. In fact, let's start out with a video question. Kimberly, she gets the gold star. She sent a video question.
Yes.
Let's watch it.
Way to go, Kimberly.
Hi, Sarah. My name is Kimberly Reese-Mensa. I'm a vlogger. I have a channel here on YouTube. I'm a publicist agent by trade. I have 5 special needs, beautiful special needs children, and an awesome Ghanaian husband. I'm married to an African man as well. My question to you is, I'm trying desperately to make my channel attractive. I'm a publicist agent by trade. My goal is to retire soon, and I want to concentrate on our nonprofit organization that we have here in the States and in Ghana, West Africa. It's called the Reese-Mensa Foundation, and to be available for my babies and to create great content, you know, surrounding around a nonprofit. What are your suggestions on getting good content and, you know, attracting followers? I'm struggling with this, and I know that God has called me to do this, but I'm struggling with it. So any suggestion you have would help. Thanks so much.
Okay, Kimberly, I really actually can tell just from your video that you're a very likable person. And so you definitely have that going for you. I love that you also have an African husband. And Solo watched it with me and he said, she sounds like a leader. So, you know, starting a YouTube channel is hard. They used to say consistency was king. So if you're not being consistent, be consistent. If you are using your phone, make sure just like you filmed that it's sideways so it's filling up the whole screen of the video. Just know exactly what you're doing, who you want your audience to be, what they're coming to you for. Just a little bit, oh wow, do we even have a kitten joining us too? I can tell from the little bit in that video that you probably are good at teaching. So even I would come to you to hear like, how do you juggle all that you have going on in your life? And 5 kids with special needs, you have something special in your house and people would probably love to hear it, or what things you've learned, or, you know, if you're motivating people, stick with that or whatever. But I think as you go along, you kind of figure out what you really love, and if you stick with that and people will know what to come to you for, I think it will grow. You didn't link your channel in your email that you sent to me, but if you're watching this or if anybody finds her channel, please link it down below. Let's give her some support. And I think it's really cool what you're gonna be doing, what you're doing in Ghana too. You have anything to say?
No.
I'm just talking. It's Ask Solo and Sarah. And
no, it's Ask Sarah. I just kind of jump in. That's not my domain in terms. I probably would struggle to bring people into the channel as well, but
what?
No.
All right, let's see. Okay, we have a few questions that I've saved for Solo. The first one is from another, was the other one Kimberly? This is another Kimberly. Kimberly's popular today.
All right.
It says, Dear Sarah, let me first start by saying I love watching your videos. Even though we couldn't be more different, we have a shared faith, but that's where the similarities end, LOL. I am 40.
I'm looking for cats all around.
they are all around.
Yeah.
I am 46 years old, single, never married, and no children, but I absolutely enjoy watching your family. I love it when I hear from people that are very different than us, that really like our channel. It's so fun to me. I guess my question would be, while you have shared so many tips and tricks that work for your family, what's a decision that at the time you and Solo thought was great or perfect for your family, but as you went on, you realized it was a negative instead of a positive?
Oh my goodness, that's a loaded question because it's making me think.
Yeah.
Kimberly, let me finish the coffee to remember. Like, I'm sure some of it would probably have to do with purchasing decisions, I think. Would you say?
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to think.
I really can't think of anything, but there have been a few times where we have bought something where if we would have just waited, it would have been given to us. Can you remember those scenarios? Like we thought, oh, we need a bed, we need a bed, we need a bed. We finally buy a bed. Probably should have just prayed about it. And then we were offered a bed right afterward. That's happened to us a lot of times. For instance, right now, we would love a boat, but just anything little. But we're like, yeah, we'll just wait and see what the Lord does. Not that we'll be waiting to be given a boat, but sometimes you just come across the right deal or something, but if you push it early, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think you could also always go back to a decision sometimes when it's tough and think, oh, did I make the right decision? Did I make the right decision? Yeah. From a believer standpoint, and you shared that you are a believer as well, is that even failure is part of the journey. Like, you grow through also mistakes you make. Yes. So, man, I wish I could think of an actual, no specific decisions jumping to me right now, but I can tell you many times over where you're questioning, did I make the right call on this? But then when you look through the rearview mirror, you realize, okay, even that stumble, even that failure was part of the beautiful story, and it actually added to who you are. So
we have wondered, like, should we have sold our house when we got this property? Because now, if you've been watching our videos, you know, we're just having to do a lot of work, but the market was super hot when we bought this property. Yeah. But then when we look back, like he said, at the time, this year, we can see like so many things the Lord did in this year that it was important. And so it's just
it's like right now it's not real clear in terms of it'd be nice to have the house sold and be fully moved mentally, financially, and all that. But you know, I don't see the full picture. You know, we never get to see the full picture. We don't see the end from the beginning. Yeah. And so, we might feel that way right now, thinking, oh wow, we'll be steps ahead. Had we sold it last year, maybe we'd be halfway through our construction. But that's not even true. Yeah. There's so much that went into prepping our house plan. We're still waiting for final decisions by the planning and building and safety committee to fully approve our project, you know. So that's kind of, I don't know how far down the road, down the process we would be if that had happened. Yeah. Who knows?
If you're hearing a lot of grunting, it's not what you think it is. She's trying to put Seth's socks and shoes on. I realize it probably sounds really bad, but she's trying to wear her brother's stuff. Jennifer asks, is your course mainly for large families, or would a small family or single person benefit from it? I think you get the most benefit from it if you have a family. I think a single person, probably not as much. It is not for large families. I definitely talk to families of all sizes. Okay, another Kimberly. Can you believe 3 Kimberlys in a row?
Oh my goodness, wow. Hey Kim, Belle.
Okay, my first question is, how do you manage screen time when and if your kids are visiting friends? We have a 10-year-old daughter and don't want her on social media, especially TikTok and YouTube. We also think she's too young for a phone. However, her best friend is also 10, has her own phone, is always talking about TikTok, and I worry they may be watching it when they are at her house. I've tried talking to her parents gently, especially when I was worried when they were making YouTube dance videos, but they didn't seem to take it seriously. Okay, I remember having that conversation with Eli, and he's 10, and he had a friend that was on a phone a lot.
Yeah. And what did you tell Eli? I guess we could...
This is us solo, but I need to...
Well, we could do that, yeah. Yeah, you obviously have a standard for your home. You have a great sense of what you want for your child. That's, you know, you're not even questioning what's right for your child. You know that. So that's the first thing that stands out to me right away. But you're not surrounded by a supportive community that maybe holds the same values and the same standards. How do you navigate through that? That's what I'm hearing, right? So to be very specific on this topic, I think really instilling that in your own child first. So what their response would be when they're surrounded with kids who have phones, who are on social media, you know, and what they should do when that's presented. I think that's what we would do. For us, what we've taught our kids is, if they turn the phone on with them, they walk away. Mm-hmm. In other words, I'm not doing this. I'm not allowed to be on the phone.
Yeah, so in our case, it was a child that was in our yard that brings a phone. And so we just told Eli, you know, when he is on the phone, you tell him you're gonna go, or you just walk away, because we don't want you seeing whatever is on that phone. To us, a phone, internet, TikTok, YouTube, like you said, is no place for an unsupervised 10-year-old to be hanging out at all. That's our standards for our house. So we teach him to walk away. I think if he was going to a friend's house where I suspected that there was a lot of phone usage, I would probably tell the child's parents that, look, my child's not allowed to be on the phone at all. So I remember my parents doing this with our friends. They would just tell them, like, they can't play, my kids can't spend time on those video games or watching movies. They're just coming over to play. Then the parents are well aware of it too, and then the parents are just making sure that their child is not on the phone or whatever you're wanting.
If the parents are not respecting your they're not respecting your boundary as another parent, in supervision, like, for me personally, then my child will not be going in that house.
100%.
There's no, so if the parents are cooperating, just say, hey, my kid wants to come play and stuff, but they're not allowed to be on the phone or do this such and such a thing. If the parents are respectful of that, and I hope that most parents would, if for their child's friend, if the parent is not respectful of that, then my child will not be going to that house.
No.
Because here's the thing, every time even we upload a video on YouTube, you have to check a box that says that it's not meant for children. YouTube and all the social media, they're covering their backside. Is that bad to say that?
No.
They're covering their backside in terms of making sure that they're not liable for providing inappropriate material for children. Well, and they do that by having creators ascertain to the fact that they are not making it for children. So, number one. Number two, how do they control that? They can't. Like, if children do look at it. I have, as an adult, just like gone through like stories, and how it goes in. You watch something, you watch the next one, and you're like, wow, how did that even come to my feed? Why would we as adults not do everything we can to help the children be protected mentally, emotionally? I think all these things that kids are exposed to right now would have ramifications long term, and it will not be good. And so we have to work extra hard as adults. And you have the sense, you know it in your gut. And so, hey, if your kids' parents don't respect it, they can only play outside. But I would just drill it on your kid to help them understand why, and so that they can take the right action even if you're not there.
Yeah, I think the important thing to know is be the parent that you want to be. It's okay. Yes. And your kid will thank you later. Maybe not now, but later. They say the average child is exposed to porn by age 12 or 13. That's the average age. And some as early as 5. And it is usually through social media. So that's it's important to know. There's a lot of new studies out about how early, and it's alarming how early kids are seeing stuff on phones. So you're doing the right thing, I think. I just don't be afraid to make the hard decisions. My second question is, do you ever have family members who don't agree with your parenting style, and how do you handle it without hurting feelings? Listening to you about laundry, my husband and I want our daughter to know how to do chores, and we have her help with the laundry too, folding and putting it away, putting away her toys, and drying dishes. My in-laws have made it seem like we're mean for having her help out with the chores. We've tried to explain that we feel these tasks are important to learn, but they don't seem to want to hear it, and it's driving me crazy.
Well, do you want me to answer that?
It's kind of the same answer.
It really is. Being the parent. I think the question, the title for this video should be the parent you want to be. But I guess, I don't know the dynamics, but families sometimes can be cross the line because they're families. They're supposed to cross the line sometimes. My question would be, how, in terms of my response on how I deal with family, is that do they undermine your authority in front of your children? That's one thing. Or do they kind of tell you on the side when they're disagreeing with us? But I think parents need to remember that we are the ones responsible for raising our own children.
Yes.
We will give an account of what we do in terms of helping develop the children that we are raising.
Yep.
And so grandparents are awesome and wonderful, but they also are not, they're grandparents.
Yeah.
You know, you run your home the way you need to run your home. You have a sense, you have a great sense as to what's right for your children, and you stick with it. If they're challenging you in front of your children, or sometimes there's some families that can be maybe planting wrong seeds in your children, so they're challenging your authority as a parent over your child. The word authority in America is not used very well. So yeah,
I think we know what you mean.
Yeah. So they're challenging your position or your authority as a parent in front of your own child, or maybe help. Yeah, that's a whole nother story, and we probably can make a whole video on that. But I think from the question itself, be confident. What's her name?
Kimberly.
Today's a Kimberly day. Is it really?
Yes.
You're kidding me, right?
No, it's the third one. Remember, she had 2 questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kimberly, you know it. You're on the right track. Just be confident in your decisions, and keep parenting your children the way you know how to parent your children. Run your home. Your pastor is not held accountable for your kids. Your teachers aren't. It's you, ultimately.
Yeah. You're the one to make the decisions. So, and then sometimes you got to put up boundaries. But we are very blessed to have parents. Both of our parents, they support us in whatever we believe. Not that they wouldn't tell us their opinions.
If they don't like it, things they haven't told us. Which is awesome.
Or they'll give us their opinions, and we appreciate them, and then we do what we feel like is best, because we know that we're ultimately responsible, so we have to do what we think.
And sometimes the opinion might be, there might be something to take. Eat the meat, throw the bones, basically.
Yes, and sometimes it's really good. All right, Lindsay from Wales said, I've been wondering about this for a period of time, and I'm hesitant to know what to do. Is it okay or acceptable for white women to get box braids? I have always wanted to get them done, but worried about the reception I would receive afterward. I've seen you do your own girl's hair, and I know you would give me an honest answer. Well, I'll give you my honest answer. I'm sure there will be people.
In Africa all the time.
They do? White women? Yes, that's true.
See it all the time.
In Kenya, white women do all the time, yeah. My opinion is do whatever you want with your hair. I'm sure there will be people that disagree with me in the comments. I braid my own girls' hair because it is a protective style for their type of hair. I would say that my girls with straighter hair, it doesn't last long. Nearly as long as the ones with very tight curls. Okay, Samantha, we have a new name, yay. She said she's excited for the series. First of all, I love watching your family's adventures. Found this when I was a struggling single mom, battling depression and struggling with debt due to previous drug addiction. I'm happy to say I'm almost 11 years clean. Congratulations, Samantha. That's so awesome.
Woo.
And I wanted you to know, watching your videos really helped me pull me out of not only my depression, but also some debt. Oh, that's very humbling to hear.
Samantha. Way to go.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Okay, I have a question. When I was younger, I was sexually abused by an adoptive father who was a well-known pastor in the area. Wow. Regardless of my attempts to get others to listen, I was turned away time and time again because of his quote-unquote status. Oh, that's horrible.
That is sick.
I have struggled with my faith since then, but I know that God is very real. I have witnessed him personally perform miracles, specifically regarding my daughter who has special needs and was not expected to make it past birth. She's now going to be 9 years old in July, and I thank God every day for her. Anywho, she recently asked me if we could go to church, something I haven't done since leaving that family, and I have a hard time mustering up the courage to do so. how would you explain to your children that somewhere they want to go, age appropriately of course, is a trigger and hurts you? I don't want to disregard her request, but I'm not sure how to address this. I would like to attend church again one day, but I still have some work to do myself before that chapter is completely closed and I am healed. Also, do you have any scripture passages that you would recommend that would help guide me through this? God bless you, and thank you for all the work and allowing your followers to get personal with you. I love the engagement. Okay.
Wow. Wow, that is a sad deal.
Mm-hmm.
I am so sorry, Samantha, that you had to go through that. That is sick. It's awful. So I just can't even imagine. I mean, this was a triple whammy here.
Mm-hmm.
One, the person that's supposed to be protecting you is the one abusing you in the most unimaginable way. Then is a leader, and then you have all these people who did not listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
For what? Mm-hmm. To make it look good when it is actually really that bad. That is sad. And so I could totally understand the trigger and how hard it would be to even trust anybody.
Yes.
I mean, this is one of the biggest violation
Mm-hmm.
of trust in a person's heart as a child. Anyway, wow. I'm just processing what you just said, and I'm trying to encourage you. It's amazing that you, at least in your heart, you know that is not our God. That is not God. That was a man, and not God. That you have your own, still believe in God, and you have your own faith in God, in spite of being violated by someone who purported to be representing God, and also family. And I love that you still have a desire to be back in church one day, because the community, it's a self-defeating situation you're in, because the healing does come from the Lord, and the church is his community here. Now, not a single church is perfect, but there are some good churches and there are some good believers, and so you cannot find your full healing in isolation. But the issue of trust is something God's going to have to help you as you walk through your things, but you might have to come through community. As far as your child goes, did you want to answer that? I do have one.
No, go. Keep going.
Yeah, as far as your child goes and asking for it, maybe perhaps it could be the time that you need to step out of your comfort zone and start looking towards maybe being reconnected in church, because you might get a good community that would be a strength to you. Because a lot of people have found a lot of healing and restoration by being a part of a good, healthy Christian community.
She might be able to send her daughter with someone that she trusts, but I could understand how that could be very difficult with the history. Just trusting her being safe to go alone. And also, it's possible like that. Kids don't always ask that. And so the fact that she has that desire, that window might close for her. I would imagine that she might stop asking too eventually,
Yeah, that window will close. So my only sense of right now, maybe from just a spiritual sense, is that it could be one of those triggers that the Lord is now using through a little child, because it says sometimes to help you find your path back.
Not bad trigger, but like.
Oh no, like
a
cue, it's like a not bad trigger. Yeah, it's kind of confusing.
That word is kind of changed meaning
it's like,
a little bit. But.
Right. In the sense, it could be just one of those, maybe stirring up something that in your heart you need to confront one day, because there's no getting to the other side until you go through this. It's part of your healing. It doesn't excuse anything that was done to you, and the pain is legit and the distrust is legit here, and it's so unfortunate that it happened to you, but you still need healing. And so I don't know how you would communicate that to them. You do have to communicate to a certain degree. age appropriate, because I thought part of the question was
about
you're gonna figure out the age appropriate. Just just say that, hey, I do want to go to church one day myself, but I don't know how you would specifically, because I don't know the dynamic of your relationship.
Yeah, she's 9, her daughter.
Oh, so. She's 9. Yeah.
Yeah, so she could know it's hard for you, and that you want to go slow, and they can sense things.
They can perceive things.
Yeah, for sure. So I think just like you said, sharing in an age appropriate way what she can handle. My grandma always used to say, you give them what they can carry. So you don't give them a suitcase bigger than they can carry. So you can answer questions exactly what she's asking without giving her too much. But yeah, I would think it would be important for her to know that it's challenging for you, but you want to do it too, just like you told us. So you've had hurts and some things happen, but you want to move forward. So I don't know, it's really hard for us to answer that very specifically without knowing
the details, your situation, your dynamics, what you have,
your dynamics with your daughter and stuff. But
there is hope and there is healing, and that story unfortunately has been repeated so many times.
Yes,
that is very disheartening to see. Where organizations will cover up for the organization, reputation, and really forget the victims. And it's awesome that you still see the Lord's good hand on your life in spite of all that, and He has just never He's never left you. And so I'm praying that God will speak to you soon and give you some direction. The scripture I was thinking of, I want to say it's in Psalm 32:8. It says, the Lord says, I will teach you and instruct you in the way that you should go. I will counsel you and watch over you. As I was thinking here and just even trying to kind of give you encouragement and answers, sometimes some things are too hard for us to even figure out on our own. And even other people telling us what to do, that you really just need prayer and direction from the Lord to guide you through the process. It's God's interest to bring healing to you. It's not God's will that it happened, the violation happened to you, but He wants to bring healing, and He's the one that's going to guide you and navigate through this. I would make it a very prayerful decision and don't make a quick response or reaction. See what the Lord is wanting to do in your life right now. So like I said, that your daughter asking, it might be the Lord's just way of nudging your heart to get some answers, because you need healing, and that you need healing to be on the other side. And sometimes the healing, it doesn't come to us on our own. You might be surprised to maybe God might guide you through connections and relationships of people that really can understand what you're going through. So
yeah, and to encourage you, we do have several people in our church that I can think of who went through things like that, maybe not the exact same story, but similar, and we're able to find healing, and just like they're thriving and in church too. So just to give you a little encouragement there. My name is Paula, and I know you guys are super involved in church. Yes, we are. We're super involved. A little backstory. I used to go to youth group and Sunday school every weekend as a kid by myself, since my family's not religious at all. I really want to get back into church again, but still don't have anyone in my life who's religious. I don't think I'd be able to go alone at this age now due to being anxious to going alone. Any advice? She said, I listen to you every night since I moved out of my parents' house because you always bring me that calm mother feeling when I listen to your videos. Oh, that's sweet.
It's hard if you haven't gone before. But I think the first couple of times, it's harder at the beginning, I think, than it is to actually go. So once you go, it becomes easier and easier. I think it's mastering enough courage. You may have to go alone and see how you feel, wait it out, and go back again. So
imagine like traveling to another country. You really want to visit somewhere in Africa, and it's so scary to imagine actually doing it. You're laughing because I said country and then I said Africa, but I said some country in Africa, and it's scary because you've never done it, but can you imagine how worth it is if you actually do it, and then you meet people and you have this epic time?
You can
I think that's the case with so many
life.
Things in our life. If we just let anxiety keep us from just like some anxiety about being alone or standing out, keep us from doing things, we can miss out on a lot. And so, yeah, that's what I have to say about that. You don't want to miss out on a lot, so. Here's a question on room sharing from Melissa. I'll let you answer this one, Solo. What do you and Solo think are the benefits of children sharing rooms?
I shared a room most of my life as a kid. Oh, well, let me get it from an example of a family that's not large. One of my neighbors, their kids just hate it. They have enough bedrooms.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to be, you know, I think it's for me as a child, I think there's a lot of stories.
They hated being separate? You didn't
Yeah. Oh, they hated being separate.
Yeah.
Like the older one was like, hey, the parents are like, you know, you can move to your own room, and she refused because the other one said, you know, they're all kids sharing one bedroom.
Yeah.
And they had like 3 extra bedrooms that are not being used, you know, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think are the benefits, Sarah? It's funny.
The room sharing? Oh, they love sharing a room. Our kids do love it. Our older ones, we've tried to get them, until now, we've tried to get them their own space, and in our new house, they'll have their own space. But they're going to have so many memories of the stories they told late at night. My dad has the funniest stories from when he was a child, and he always shared a room with his 2 brothers, and I think it's just such good childhood memories. Plus they learn how to share space and get along. I mean, what's marriage but not sharing space?
Yeah.
It's good preparation.
Yeah.
There's benefits to having their own space sometimes, but I like room sharing too. Okay, my name is Niam from Ireland. I love your food. All questions. I probably did not say your name right. Sorry about that. Are you considering collecting rainwater at your new house in those big black containers to save a bit of money on the water bill? I find it really helps. And second, if you're looking for extra space, you should try a shipping container that are used for shipping on boats. They're airtight and they don't let animals in.
Yeah, you know, I definitely want to look into that. I have friends that do water catchment from gutters and stuff and rainwater. So it's something I want to definitely look at here at the property for sure. For animals, for irrigation and stuff like that. So that is something that I want to look into. As far as the storage container, I have been thinking about it. We may probably do it, you know. I have a friend that just did one, supposed to be airtight, but they found mice in it recently. And so it made me put the brakes on for a second, but...
we do discuss the container situation a lot. I don't want
She doesn't want one, I want one. So guess who wins?
Hey, I've told you many times, just go get one if you want it that bad.
Yeah.
I personally think, I don't want to spend any money on stuff because we don't have like high quality stuff, except for our couches and our piano. And neither of them can be out in a storage container. But I think, why spend money? I would just rather give the stuff away and then just slowly get new stuff that we need. And rather, they're ugly. I'm like, where are you going to put that thing?
Yeah, we have a lot of land.
Yeah.
So it's not really, and people kind of expect to see ugly things when you go to farm. Like, not ugly, vintage farm. Vintage farm stuff.
Vintage?
Yeah, it looks vintage farm.
A lot of people have suggested to us that they can be used for other things afterward, like for animals, like a goat pen or whatever. I don't know. We're not getting goats. But.
Yeah, so it's still a discussion right here, you know, but we'll see.
We'll see who wins.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you or Solo could offer financial advice when it comes to saving for the future. If you guys don't know, he is a pastor, but he also has a finance business and helps families get their finances in order with personalized financial plans. So my husband and I have some money in investments, but we also have a sizable savings account. I wanted to move the majority of the money to a high yield savings account versus our 401k or mutual funds. I'm just not confident in the stock market right now, and we've already lost so much over the last few years. What would you suggest?
Well, you're right on. I wouldn't put the extra money that's not, because when you talk about 401k plan and those things, those are qualified dollars, and they have restrictions in terms of what you're able to do with moving them, using them at any time, especially depending on how old you are. If you're already maximizing your match, if your employer matches, I wouldn't put any more than the match you're getting into the 401k plans. Most definitely maximize on the match that you're getting. But the high yield savings accounts, good. You could do a money market right now. You know, those short-term investments, they do have better interest rates that we've had in a long time in those areas. So, and if you're not wanting to jump into the market, that would be the right way. You're right on. That would be the right thing to do, just to get a high yield and watch what watch the climate and see what's doing. But I most definitely will not lock it up into a 401k unless you have big tax benefits. Now that's something you'll have to discuss with your CPA to see if you should be contributing maybe to a Roth IRA or something, if you that much for the future.
All right, I didn't understand much of that.
Oh, shit. I should make it understandable.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I know she knows.
They all sound very similar to me.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me today, Solo. I know it took you away from something else, but I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love our tribe of many, the community here. You guys are amazing. Amazing. I'll
bring him back again, maybe in a few weeks or whatever, when I have a bunch of questions that I want him to input on. But thank you guys for watching today. And we'll see you in an upcoming video. I was trying to think, do I know?
Are you doing your favorite? No.
Oh, I know one that's coming up soon.
What is?
Is our 4th of July. It was nuts.
Yeah.
You have to watch that one.
It will be after the 4th of July for sure when you watch that one.
Even this is.
Even this is
All right.
after the 4th.
We'll talk to you later, guys.
See you guys.
Bye.